Today, I thought I'd talk to you about disappointment and what I realized about it, and share a slightly embarrassing story while I'm at it. but um, but people are disappointing. It makes me sad to say this, but everyone I've ever known has never failed to disappoint me at one point or another. Even the people that are close to me. Maybe maybe people are just inherently selfish and will ultimately choose to serve themselves. I don't know. Speaking of disappointment, every year around my birthday, I get anxious. I get anxious because every year on my birthday, my husband Jay and I get into an argument and I end up feeling alone. You see, on Jay's birthday, I try to come up with the most fun things to do, things that he'll enjoy doing. I put in the effort to make it special. For example, I made him a birthday video, threw him a party, took him to a jazz club because he likes jazz, cooked him a royal feast with all his favorite foods, took trips, and, etc. I try to put in the wow factor and try to be as creative as possible because, that's just how I want to show my love. But when it's my birthday, well, Jay doesn't plan much. The usual thing he does is to get me a small cake and sing me happy birthday, and then ask me what I want for dinner. No party, no reserving a special restaurant, no gift, no delightful surprises of any kind, not even something small. Just a cake from the Korean bakery, some candles, and a dinner of my choice. Same old routine every year. So usually on my birthday, we end up getting into an argument. I get really disappointed at how little thought he puts in and how he does the bare minimum. And I end up feeling unloved and unappreciated. And then my thoughts spiral down to things like maybe I'm in a one-sided relationship where I'm the only one giving and other insecure thoughts. Of course, he has his reasons and his side of the story too. According to him, he gets overwhelmed with too many thoughts and options that at the end, he always selects the safest route, which is the cake, the song, and the restaurant of my choice. And so without fail, around my birthday, I become anxious. I know what's coming. I know I'll be disappointed and we might get into an argument and I might end up feeling alone and feeling sorry for myself. So the other day, I lay awake in bed. So I was thinking about this the other night and dreading my birthday, which was approaching. Honestly, I was feeling frustrated with myself. I mean, why can't I let it go? In the grand scheme of things, it is such a small, stupid thing. Even as I'm telling you this, I'm feeling a bit embarrassed because I understand how stupid this can sound. But for some reason, this was triggering a deeper wound I had about people and how I end up getting hurt because I give too much and don't get much in return. As I lay in bed, I started to think about what disappointment really means. Up until then, I had thought that people were disappointing because they were inherently selfish. But that night, I started thinking about it more deeply. If you think about it, really think about it, if someone disappoints you, it means that you had an expectation that they didn't meet, right? That part everyone knows. We get disappointed when people don't meet our expectations, yes. But where does that expectation come from? Well, this is where our mind usually gets it screwed up. We often mistakenly think that we're not expecting anything beyond what is reasonable and logical, that anyone in this situation would probably have the same expectations that we do. Like me, for example, I expected Jay to make an effort to make my birthday special because I thought anyone would do this for anyone they love. I do it, so why isn't he, right? Well, actually, our minds don't realize the truth, which is that we all have different standards of how people should behave, that our own standard isn't actually as objective and logical as it seems. our standard is actually very subjective, and it is based on how we ourselves would act. Maybe growing up, our family treated us a certain way, so that became our standard of how to treat people. Maybe we grew up in a culture or religion that had certain rules. Maybe through our own experience, we learned to behave a certain way. There are many things that make up our notion. That's why we all hold different definitions of what is appropriate. So when we get disappointed, we're essentially getting disappointed because we mistakenly think that our notion of what's appropriate behavior is a general truth that everyone holds. Essentially, we're getting disappointed because people aren't thinking or acting like us. My disappointment was coming from a place of immaturity. For me to assume that Jay would meet my expectation is for me to assume that he shares the same standard, same definition of what love is, and the same way of expressing his love as I do. But that's exactly how kids think. Kids can't conceive anything outside of themselves. See, when we are kids, we think our thoughts and our emotions are it. What we like, everyone else must like, and what we think, everyone else must think. We don't understand that there's a separation between others and ourselves. Kids can't conceive that other people can have different intentions because they feel that we are all one and the same. They share their thoughts freely without a filter because they have no fear of offending anyone, because how could they if we're all one? But once we grow up and understand that there's a separation between us and others, that's when we understand that people have their own inner world separate from us, and that everyone has their own perspectives. And understanding that not everyone is like me is part of maturing. When I was getting disappointed in Jay for not putting in the effort for my birthday, well, honestly and frankly, it was coming from that part of me that hasn't matured yet, because I was expecting him to behave like me, just like a kid would. Jay has his own unique set of limitations and his own unique set of gifts that's apart from me. While he might not be creative at throwing birthday surprises, he's really good at showing his appreciation on a daily basis in so many ways. He's very affectionate, gives me constant compliments and support, always tells me how much he appreciates me, goes out of his way to research K-dramas that I might like, make sure the front door is always locked, saves all the gifts he gets from work for me, and well, so much more. And so for me to not see that and not honor that, and for me to be disappointed when he doesn't express his love the way I do was, frankly, coming from a part of me that hasn't matured yet. In conclusion, as we mature spiritually, we understand that people are different and they have different limitations and also different gifts and talents. So we start to celebrate and honor each of the gifts that are unique to us. And we learn to have patience and understanding for each of our limitations, just as we'd like others to have patience and understanding for our own. But for us to think that the other is like us, why can't they see our pain or distress, is to be still trapped in our juvenile thinking. It's a sign of maturity when we start to honor, admire, and respect the unique colors we all have. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my little story of realization. I always aim to share how I'm growing spiritually and how I'm healing my inner child wounds. And this video was just that. Thanks for watching, and for all my birthday people out there, happy birthday. Regards, Ray.